I don't know. I think you said it right there. It's a very quick turnaround, but one that we're certainly excited about. And yeah, not many people thought we'd be in this position. So very similar series for us, though. Like, there's not a lot of people out there that think we're going to be able to pull this one off, just like they didn't think we were able to pull the last one off. So one game at a time, one day at a time, starting on the road, I think that's a good thing for us.
How much does that doubt view from the outside fuel this group now, or does it?
I don't think it fuels us. I don't think we necessarily care. I mean, I guess the one thing that that brought us together last series was the fact that we knew we were the crazy underdog story, and that doesn't change this series. I mean, Boston did what they did, but Toronto's the one team that was right behind them. So I guess the prize for knocking off the best team in the league is get the second best team in the league now. So it's going to be a very, very similar challenge for us.
Matthew, a couple weeks ago, you guys were here to play a regular season game, and your dad had some pointed remarks on TSN radio. I'm wondering, how did your teammates, did they say anything to you about that? How was that perceived?
I honestly can't even remember. That was. It seems like forever ago we were in that position, but yeah, this was the game that kind of changed our season around, I guess. I know Lyon came in, basically stole us one, and we were able to get the ball rolling, and ended up clinching a few weeks later, and yeah, then knocked off Boston. So can't really write that story the way it happened. So we'll take it on to round 2 now.
Paul Maurice was pretty animated in that game. I don't want to say that's an inflection point, but you've spent a lifetime in hockey. How would you describe what it's like to play for Paul Maurice?
I've loved every minute of it. I think that what you guys saw there is the fire in him, and I'm sure that was boiling over the few games prior to that. We were not playing good hockey, and but we needed that. He's been somebody that I've just really enjoyed playing for. He's very smart. Just even just talking hockey, on non-game days, just what's going on around the league. He's very bright and somebody that I've learned a lot from, and I've enjoyed playing for him so much. I know everybody else has as well. He's somebody that's personally taken my game and made me a way better player, and for that I thank him. And I mean, what he was able to do with our team and preparing us for especially that first round, it was he's coached a long time and been around the game a ton, and definitely was a very calming influence for us, and allowed us to prepare and beat that team that we did.
If you look back on how you did come back against that team, like, how did you guys do it? Down 3-1, like, what was the process? What was said? Where was the belief? Where did it come from?
Yeah, there was definitely belief, but I think it was almost even from the start of the series, what's made us very successful is, I know this might come out in a weird way, but we're kind of like oblivious to the situation that we're in almost, and that's a great thing for us, just staying right in the moment, not letting the outside noise that's a great thing almost. It just allowed us to focus one day at a time. Everybody says it, but it really did allow us just to enjoy it. We didn't want our season to end. We didn't want it to be our last day together, our last game together. So there's a lot of motivation for us and a lot of doubters except for us.
What stands out to you about the Leafs? What will it take to beat them?
Very similar to Boston in the way they play. They played on the different nights than we did, so we got to watch all their games and play with a lot of speed. They're very similar, but I'd say maybe a little bit faster up front, a little bit quicker. They're good on their sticks. They're not gonna maybe finish as many checks, but their top end is as good as it gets around the NHL. So it's gonna take a full team effort, and I think the longer the series goes for us, the better. And just like last series, but you gotta play those guys hard, and maybe by the end we can start to wear down a little bit, but we'll see.
At different points in your career, you've been close with Austin, close with Mitch. How has your relationship with those guys changed over the years as your NHL careers have gone on?
Yeah, still keep in touch with those guys, as much as you kind of can during the season, and following their careers. They've I think it's good for them what happened, this year and getting out of the first round. I know that's been a big thing in Toronto, but you knew they were eventually gonna get by that round. They're too talented of players and too talented of a team. So hopefully we can catch them by surprise this series like we caught Boston. And but it's gonna take a lot, against a team like this. They're as talented as you're gonna find. And yeah, everybody talks about the unbelievable year Boston had, which they did, but Toronto was not that far behind them. So it's a very similar series and similar mindset for us.
There's
Your
a lot
name
of
seems
upsets
like
in this. There's a lot of upsets in this league, and I wonder. You've been on both sides. Where a year ago, Calgary was really favored to beat Edmonton, the Battle of Alberta. And is there a different pressure when you're the favorite? Boston just have to deal with. The Leafs now are favored to win the cup. Now that there's 8 teams left. I mean, you feel that as a player when people are saying you should win. Is it harder to handle?
I think last year, just don't really want to talk about last year, but I think we felt it more when we played Dallas than we played Edmonton. I mean, I don't think we were necessarily favored to beat Edmonton by a lot, but we probably were against Dallas, and there is a little bit of a different mindset for sure when you're the 8 seed versus the 1 seed or whatever we were. So, but yeah, now there's 8 teams, and I mean, in my opinion, out of all the teams that are left, the Leafs have had the best year, up until this point. So it wouldn't shock me if they're favorited, just like Boston was. And it's at the end of the day, everything's back to zero now, and that's how we want it. I mean, we made playoffs by 1 point at 92 points, so we'll take everything at zeros right now.
What's it like seeing Brandon Montour's last 2 months, and then especially the way he played against Boston?
I've seen him a lot since he was playing with Anaheim when I first came in, and somebody that caught your attention right away, and just not surprised by what he's doing, but the stage gets bigger, and he just seems to ramp up his game that much more. And he, I don't know, he's somebody that he plays intense, he plays physical. He's the first guy in there to, support his teammates or stick up for his teammates, and somebody that just I've loved every minute of playing with this year. And I would like to say he's gotten better as the season's gone on, but he's had a hell of a season from start to finish. So he's been one of our guys that I don't even know if he's talked about that much down market of Florida, but should be talked about as one of the best D this season for sure.
Matthew, you picked Florida in the offseason for a number of reasons. Was there a belief that this team could be just a dangerous team in the playoffs? Was that there when you picked them?
It was, but you try to catch yourself. I think when it came to that decision, like it wasn't just this year, and it wasn't just like the short term. It was wanting to put myself in a position to be a playoff contending team each and every season for hopefully the rest of my career. So, yeah, the belief was definitely there. The talent that this team had when I played against them last year and the years prior was high end. And my first day skating with them, I realized it was way better than what I ever expected. So, I don't think we necessarily had the start or a big chunk of the season. We knew we were better than what we were, and it wasn't showing. I think last series we showed it a little bit, and hopefully we can keep proving people wrong.
You're a 100-point guy. How do you when you're a 100-point guy, you're going to get all the attention anyway. How do you deal with thriving and stability?
I don't know. You dealt with it a little bit last series, so it's not like it's anything new right now. But 100 points, it doesn't mean anything. Everything's back to zero right now.
Matthew, you spent most of your season this year with Sam Bennett. He was one of the few familiar faces you had when you got here. Just how much has he helped improve your game this year? Yeah,
a ton. I played with him for stretches in Calgary, but normally it was like I never played with him as a centerman, and we were wingers together for a very few amount of games each year, but we always had success playing with each other. And this season, I think it's helped us both out a lot. But he's really taken. I think when I look at us playing together, like we want to come out a certain way that shows our team the way we want to play. I know, especially to start the game, start the series, you want to set the tone, and kind of just be leaders on ice and lead by example and show the rest of the team that, we're ready to go and this is how we want to play. So he's been our leader in that, and somebody that this time of year is always the best player. So I've really enjoyed playing with him, especially come playoff time. And even last year, as you look at it, just when he came in, it just puts everything in the right positions and kind of just makes our team that much better. And I think especially the defense on Boston, I don't know if they were wanting to go back for pucks by game OT in Game 7 because of a guy like Sam Bennett. So he has that ability that you maybe don't notice it right away, but by the end of Game 7, you're probably feeling it.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.